In late 2023, SEGA made a bold and ambitious announcement. 5 classic IPs from the company's catalog would be revived. From Crazy Taxi to Jet Set Radio, fans of SEGA's roots have plenty to look forward to, and the first of these efforts, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, will soon be released. The first entry since 2011, helmed by developer Lizardcube, has boasted some pretty vivid visuals throughout its promotion alongside glowing previews. My initial curiosity for this platformer led me to playing it ahead of its release, and I'm excited to say that it's turned out to be another must-play in this genre from this year, setting a high bar for SEGA's revivals to meet.
I shall strike you dead.
Shinobi Art of Vengeance follows protagonist Joe Musashi, a proficient ninja who embarks on a quest for revenge after his village is burned and his clan is turned to stone. There's actually an unexpected emphasis on narrative here, at least for someone like me who is fairly ignorant to the series. From the outside, I was expecting a by-the-book story used purely as set dressing. In actuality, while the assumption is not entirely off-base, the plot is fully voiced and cutscenes appear across every full stage, resulting in fairly consistent storytelling. Admittedly, the plot is far from the chief selling point, and it will not be what motivates players to push forward. Still, it emphasizes some memorably designed characters and strong voice direction. The final stage in particular delivers a compelling culmination that puts the narrative to rest. In the realm of gameplay, Art of Vengeance is not quite what I expected. Rather than being a straight-shot 2D platformer, it adopts a light metroidvania approach with movement upgrades and collectibles. First, though, the general loop is worth illustrating. The game takes place across several semi-linear platforming stages where Joe runs, jumps, and utilizes various ninja tools to combat enemies. There is a well-judged balance of platforming and combat, and both sides of the equation excel. Joe's movements come across as sleek and swift, and the stage design consistently complements his capabilities, building on familiar platforming conventions like air dashing and a grappling hook, or a glider and wall jumping and more. Veterans of the genre will definitely feel at home here. And rather than chasing wholly new ideas to reinvent the genre, Art of Vengeance focus on reinvigorating it. Every level is layered with intuitive challenges that demand steadily sharper reflexes. You will also have to time jumps across rapidly encroaching threats and sprint across gauntlets of shifting footholds. Variety, though, is strong both functionally and aesthetically. The difficulty curve is handled well, with early stages weaving in fundamentals and the endgame requiring practice precision even from experienced players. One way Art of Vengeance stands out is in its metroidvania components. During the main story, Joe acquires upgrades and techniques that let him overcome specific hazards and gaps. In addition to pressing onward, you can freely revisit previous stages at your leisure, and plentiful fast travel points add welcome convenience. When I first realized how this was structured, I worried it might bloat the impact of discovery, especially if fast travel cut out the trek to new paths and secrets. But once I embraced the game's direction instead of clinging to my assumptions, everything clicked. These levels are just far too large and lengthy to justify repeated full playthroughs just to reach a new nook, so fast travel ends up feeling essential in hindsight. In practice, the system is unobtrusive and efficient. Level maps are transparent in their layouts, and secret areas are tinted purple, so I was actually never lost or frustrated while tracking down the next collectible or shortcut. The reward cycle feeds neatly into the broader loop. Your findings revolve around amulets and other collectibles that deliver a steady stream of benefits. Most stages include elite enemy waves and hidden Oboro medals, many of them gated behind newly acquired movement skills. Each major ability justifies a return trip, and the new secret areas tend to be more expansive than you might have expected.
Open fire!
Combat is crafted with approachable simplicity layered over meaningful complexity, which pairs nicely with the game's 15 to 20 hour playtime. Joe has close-range combos, throwable kunai, special techniques tied to a dedicated gauge, and screen-clearing abilities with their own resource. Core attacks can be expanded with new combo strings purchased in the shop, and you will also discover amulets that augment specific skills. The Ouroboros medals double as a form of currency, expanding the shop's selection as you collect more. It all reinforces how progress branches feed into one another. Enemies are well designed with distinct telegraphs and patterns, and late game encounters can be genuinely tense while remaining fair. In addition to health, many foes have armor gauges, and particular moves cut through that armor quickly, such as charged heavy attacks. Knowing which combos to deploy in each situation is paramount here. Purple-coated incoming strikes are the most dangerous because you can't dodge through them, so environmental awareness and quick reads are essential. Executions are the stylish payoff, which are finishing moves that trigger when enemies near defeat, and they add a satisfying finale to the skirmishes. Bosses are another highlight. They showcase the same strengths found in standard battles and scale them up in spectacle and difficulty. The lineup is varied, and each major fight feels like a natural extension of the movement and combat you've already been practicing. It's honestly the kind of cohesion that other 2D action platformers should aim for. The art direction deserves its own praise. Rather than leaning on retro pixel art of Vengeance opts for a vibrant hand-drawn presentation that is immediately striking. Each location looks like a painting brought to life. Further, skins that Joe can acquire read as distinct despite being alternate colorways, and the unified visual identity helps establish a unique look for the IP that I hope continues in future entries. As much as I enjoyed my time with Art of Vengeance, one post-game avenue didn't resonate with me. Being the story unlocks a boss rush in an arcade mode. Boss rush is self-explanatory and gratifying, and it might be the toughest content in the game, while arcade mode adds a ranking system to each main stage. Here, you're scored on criteria like clear time, enemy kills, and whether you rediscover the secret location in the default stage layout. You also earn bonuses for finishing bosses with executions and for completing runs without taking damage. On paper, arcade mode sounds like a strong addition, but for me it felt like padding to encourage a longer playtime of the game. Your setup and priorities may change under the scoring lens, but you're actually just replaying the same levels with the score at the end. In a broad sense though, the essence of progression remains unchanged. This isn't a major detractor, especially since it's entirely optional, but I would have preferred shorter bespoke courses or speedrunning challenges through combat gauntlets. And to that point, Art of Vengeance already contains high difficulty platforming challenges via rifts tucked into each main stage. These secrets are worth the effort for the collective reward, and they're excellent showcases of how far the platforming can be pushed. Repurposed versions of these rifts might have served arcade mode better while avoiding the emphasis on quantity. It should always be celebrated when a classic series returns in peak form, and Shinobi Art of the Vengeance is an ideal example. Between finely tuned 2D platforming and action combat that leverages Joe's expressive movements, plus some commendable optional challenges, there's no shortage of meticulous craft for platforming fans to appreciate in this game. If this is the level of quality that we can expect from Sega's incoming classic revivals, then it feels fair to say we're in very good hands. Noisy Pixel is giving Shinobi Art of Vengeance a 9.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.